that's wonky. Here, let me go like this. Is that better? Boop, boop, boop. Okay. That's less wonky. We're still in Wonkersville. Wonkersville is better than Wankersville. I'd rather be in Wonkersville over Wankersville any day. Okay. Oh shit. How we doing on battery? We charged, Marge. Come charge with Marge. Recharge. Recharge. Charging to me is just thinking. Boop. The back and forth. The synopsis. The firing of boop, boop, boop. Like in an engine, the power and the negative. Boop, boop, boop. I gotta fix things. I'm ill prepared. I just wanted to yammer. Here, let me get the heater here. Heater. Come here, little heater guy. This thing is the best heater in the world. I'm glad I have two of them. This is the best heater we ever had. It's just like a little quiet guy. I'm gonna turn him off though, because it's got a point at me and I don't want to get too hot. Third eye activated. It's a trip to me because like it's weird because the world is not changing for me. The world is not changing at all for me except for the fact that more people are beginning to see the world as I see it. So I'm less and less the crazy lady. You need help. The fucking Leo Cub told me, sicked AI on me the other day. Asked it to give me the hotline to narcissist hotline, is what he said. Because, see, he don't get that what he sees in other people, he don't like about himself. He just don't want to look at. He'd rather look at him than me. That's fine. Okay, that's cool. I verified my behavior to be contrary. He hasn't. Also, on that note, the joke's on him because it never did what he asked. Because it's a lazy man's tool. It's a fool's tool. AI is a fool's tool. It's just another game that people play. So that they can play games and not do anything that of any viable skill set. I'm so happy to see where I live, things are shifting where people are going back to trade schools. That is a beautiful thing to me. I've been saying for 7 years, learn a trade, learn a trade, learn a trade, learn a trade. Yeah, it's cool if you do astrology and you read a chart, but fucking plunge a toilet every now and again too. Have that ability. Or, wire some wire, like do something useful. I mean, yeah, astrology is useful and it's guided me, the stars have guided me my whole life. But I also have very viable skills. And whether we go in the tech age or we go away from the tech age, I'm still have a lot of viable skills. And people that don't have viable skills, they look at me and they can't comprehend all the things that I did because they would never do it because they just keep doing the same thing over and over. They do that one thing, and I'm a jack of all tirades. I do more than that one thing. I do lots of things. I'm an IT professional. I'm a mechanic. U.S. Air Force trained mechanic on freaking pneumatic systems, hydraulic systems. Pneumatics are air, by the way. Compressors, generators, things like that. Solar, We're talking series, we're talking parallel. Come on. So I'm looking to build my community and I'm super excited about it. Because for so long I was looking at a future that was sad, but that future is come and gone. And now that future is the past, and now I can look forward to the future again. Like waves in the ocean. Yeah. I need my music. I'm going to get my music. I am fizzy with glee today, and this is the reason why. I sent my friend a text message at the ass crack of dawn because I figured it out. These candies that I get, they are so good. They're my favorite eatables. I'm gonna make Margeables. I'm gonna call them Margeables. They're my favorite. Well, not the ones that I eat. And I only have 2 left, and there's not really like a whole lot of means for me to getting them anymore. So what I've been trying to do is figure out how to make them myself. Yes. So I never have to get mad at the dumb owners of flower shops for not getting products that I like. So I'll make my own shit. Circumvent for a joyful life. That's my kind of one of my things I do. I circumvent. Oh, they aren't going to help me do the things I want to do. The things I want to do aren't that big of a deal. I'll just circumvent. I'll just do what I want to do without using whatever they tell me I need to use. Because that's what systems are for. They're welfare systems for people that have no viable skills. So you got people that can't turn a wrench. You got people that won't, can't change a tire. But they're going to tell you that you don't get so much money enough to eat. Like, it don't add up. And so the imbalance is swinging back around. And I'm here fucking for it. Excuse my language. The only time I'm trying not to cuss. And I try to use different words like confounded. That is a very good word. But it don't always work out like that. Sometimes one slips out. I'm really trying to be cognizant. But when I get worked up, it pops off. That is for sure. Because listening to people cuss for no reason is not entertainment for me. I got a better vocabulary than that. Okay, here we go. That's story time. Dun dun dun. This is one of my prized possessions. It's a dictionary. I like words. It's all about the word whimsy. And I know lots of words. And I know lots of organizations and systems, and because I was in the military, so they have a whole set of words that they use. And they have books this thick, and they go by these words. And if you sway from those words, you will be punished in ways however they see fit. But then you have groups of people within these ranks, these structures, that designate themselves of a higher power, and that they're the authority of themselves. And they don't have to answer to nobody. They don't got to answer no stupid rule book. If they want to take a jet plane and fly it across the country like a rental car, they're going to do that. If you say anything against them, why, that you're against national security and you're the bad guy and you're the threat, because you're telling the world that that they're a bunch of machismos. And they paid the dumb ones to do the evil bidding, while they sit back at their officers' clubs and their parties doing their stupid little rituals. I was a part of it. I just saw on Facebook a thing where they had, here at one of the Air Force bases here in New Mexico, they just had the 2006 graduating ALS class, or 2005. And I was like, what a joke. It's such a joke. ALS is Airman Leadership School. So when you're like senior airman, when you're about the time to re-enlist kind of thing, they test for staff sergeant, depending on what your job is. They'll put you through Airman Leadership School is what they call it. When I don't know what it is in different places. I only have my experience that I can speak from. And my experience is I did mine on General's Row at Offutt Air Force Base in Omaha, Nebraska, or Bellevue, Nebraska, south of Omaha. And it was like 6-7 weeks of 9 to 5 of dressing use, and sometimes you had to dress in your blues, and you had to learn all about how to be a good leader. And then at the end, there's a ceremony and a graduation and all that, and a fancy, you get out dressed up and fancy. And I invited my dad to mine. I invited my dad to mine. My plus one was my dad, because I didn't think my mom would care about military stuff, so I invited dad. But he that was the same time, like, he never knew how to be around me or talk to me because I was such a feeling orientated person. He was such a machismo. And so we wouldn't talk. We would drive across country, and like maybe from one end of California to the other, and maybe talk 30 minutes, maybe, because I just stare out the window. I don't need to talk to nobody. I'm better in my own imagination anyway. So didn't bother me much, none. Anyway, this isn't working. Another set. Good thing I have 4. I think I turned off the speaker in the bathroom. There it is. Okay, there it is. All right. It doesn't even make any sense. Technology is so dumb. The fact that anybody relies on something you plug in is so silly to me. That crypto stuff, that's cryptocurrency is a lazy man's tool too. It's a fool's game. Nothing useful. Ain't no cryptocurrency never done me no good. It's stupid. Like, what cryptocurrency in Taos is laughable, yet there's still people that work in the city of a town, 6,000 people that'll try and see what they can do to use it on their parking meters. So lame. I'm not living on this earth anymore. I'm gonna go find my own earth. I'm gonna run off. I'm gonna buy a cabin in the woods. Me and mom are gonna run off and live on our own earth. And we're not gonna play these stupid reindeer night games no more. We're not gonna do it. We're gonna leave them to it. I ain't trying to change nothing. Leave them to their silly, silly reindeer games. Anyway, I got to tell a story about Grandma Gardner. This is my dictionary when I was, okay? And inside, Mom gave me this. It says Irvine M. Gardner, Project City, California, 1967. And it has like the Indo-European family of languages. It has cool stuff. I mean, I love this thing, right? The contents in it, the introduction, like it's in stellar condition. I've done what I can to take good care of it. And so that woman, Grandma Gardner, she was, when I went to Project City School, I don't even think the school, like, I think it's structurally there, but they called it, like, Shasta Lake Unified, blah, blah. But, so it was a different world then, because it was a different place. And Mom, I went to first grade there. We first moved to Redding, and I went to Lassenview. I went to this other little weird school, and then Mom was like, no, you're not going there. And then I went to Lassenview, and then I went to Project City School. God, I went to 4 schools like my 12th grade year. I moved around so much, and I wasn't in the military. I didn't get all the benefits of what the frickin' military brats got. Our move was for survival. Anyway, so Grandma Gardner, when I was in the first grade, she was the she like was the class grandma. Was it Mrs. Brown's class was first grade. Mrs. Davis was third. Okay, that's when we'd watch the Bloodhound Gang, and 3-2-1 Contact was third grade. First grade, Grandma Gardner. She would play the piano, and she had a little jar on her on the that she'd set up on her piano with lemon drops in it. And not everybody got lemon drops. I think I got extra lemon drops. Because I was the kid, I was the bumbling fool, just nervous about everything. Because I was just scared to death. Every time frickin' that somebody came with a note to pass to the office, I was like, I knew it was me. Mom's gonna pick us up and we're gonna move across country. It's just weird shit. Like, my life is just so remarkable. It's just so unbelievable. So, and then Grandma Gardner, she would play the piano a lot. So that's why I like shows like the Golden Girls, the ones with the background music, because that's what she did. She would like play music like the background, during story time and stuff. She would and like melodramas and stuff like that. And then I was in that, and she was always so kind. She'd let me sit next to her, and I'd love to feel the vibrational frequency of the piano, and like they would, I'd fall asleep, because I didn't sleep. I could fall asleep, boom, like that. I could fall asleep before a plane takes off if I feel cozy and comfortable and safe enough. And so I'd fall asleep like during story time a lot, and then like I don't know, they felt sorry for me, let me sleep a lot. Oftentimes I wouldn't get in trouble for that. So fast forward several years, we lived in this one bedroom cabin. This thing was like riddled with cockroaches. Like, it was like, but Mom did whatever she could to make that place homey. She always like I have pictures of it, flowers. Like, she could never afford to provide for so much, but whatever she could provide, she made it so comfy and so loving. And so she's Sagittarius. I don't know, it's just how she is. And she never had a safe place of her own, so that's what she wanted too, is just to make a place of her own. So we lived in this cabin, and this old lady lived on the corner of Shasta Way, and she drove this big old boat, and I'll be damned if I didn't find out that was Grandma Gardner. She drove this big old freaking, like, I gotta look up what kind of car it is. It's gonna drive me crazy because I can picture it in my head, but I can't picture the emblem. It might be a Cadillac, but like a 67, or even in the 50s. Like, I've only in the wild maybe seen 3 of these vehicles at any car show I've ever happened across or whatever, when I used to care about that shit. But Grandma Gardner had that boat, and I know she took it out and she'd open it up. I know because all the old ladies do, because we got get up and go too. And she and Mom were friends, and they were friends for a number of years, and they go visit, because that's what people did back then, before cell phones and stuff like that. They would visit. They'd come over and visit, fellowship, talk about how they feel about things, so those things don't fester up and cause harm. That's how they used to be. And I like those ways, and those are the ways that I'm going to incorporate on our little old lady cabin mountain in the woods. We ain't gonna do no weird shit though. And Grandma Gardner passed away some years ago, and Mom and her sister Mom ended up with a scarf of hers that she used to wear. So I have a scarf and this dictionary that belonged to Grandma Gardner. And so I carry all the kindness that I remember, all the years. Because, I mean, it's just like, when people are kind to you, and that's why I'm so excited. I'm fizzy with glee, because I figured out how to make my caramel candies. Because that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to hang out with Mom at home Invite some friends over to visit. We're going to play cards. We'll play games. We'll sing. We'll laugh. We'll dance. And I'm going to make candy, and all the joy that fills the space in which we live, that will go into the medicine in which I make. And I'm not just going to make candy. I'm going to make lotion. I'm going to make, because I just want to spend my time doing something useful that's going to make people feel better. I just want people to feel better, because I felt so bad in my life. All I wanted was reprieve, because if I just felt better, then I could do this. And then I feel better, and then I get to do those things. And I want to help other people figure out what their feel better is without alcohol and pharmaceutical drugs. A lot of exercise, a lot of diet, because I know a lot about this. I wasn't never allowed to eat sugar when I was a kid. The first word was sugar. I couldn't eat it. They said I was hypoglycemic when I was like 3 years old. I had my first glucose tolerance test. Glucose tolerance test. That's what, I had a speech impediment, and then people would make fun of me. So I worked real hard to enunciate and articulate and speak clearly and concisely, because I hate to repeat myself. So I figured out how to make the candy. I'm so excited. I'm like, why is this caramel so much different than the caramel? What? Why do I make this and it's creamy, delicious, tasty Margeables, but I want this? Why can't I get this? I make this. It's because when I make this, it's brown sugar. And when they make this, it's granulated sugar. And that is the difference. And I am so excited. And I made butter. I'm so excited. I got a new butter machine that it's a lot of cleanup. It's a lot of, like, I would want to have a high pressure to clean it off. It's messy. And their cleaning feature doesn't clean. But the butter, I let it go for 12 hours, and then it stirs it. Like every 15 minutes, it'll stir it. So I like that. And I'm going to make caramel in a little while. And I'm so excited, all that enthusiasm. And then I'm going to take the butter and I'm going to play frequencies, healing frequencies into the butter, 111 hertz frequencies. And then we're just going to go around the community in which I live and try to build on community. And I'll give people candy. I'll give them little rays of sunshine. I'll give them stickers and magnets. I got stickers and magnets I give out to people. Then I give them handy thing like little burner stoves that they can cook with for the travelers, and like canisters of gas, just useful shit, stuff they can use. Back in when we were young, they used to have what they called a welcome wagon. I think they're just people trying to size people out. But anyway, there's always people I'm always trying to size people out. Well, I just want to know who they are. I don't want to do nothing with them. I was just, maybe, hey, do you make stickers? Do you give stickers to people too? What is that thing? What's the thing that people do for free? Like when I see content creators on the tiny tubes and art, or even if they're huge, it's like they get on here, and I don't care how big they are. It's like they're reminding the world that they're there. See, I'm so stoked that I have created a life that I can swipe my card to do whatever I want without having to go to work and hang out with mom and the dogs and the critters and stuff. And I could do all this XX stuff to help other people, because it's fun. It's fun to fucking be the earth angel to get people to just let them know that not everything sucks. That there's some people that are so generous that they're going to throw their money away on someone that's never going to freaking repay them. That shit's fun to me. And I don't know why it's not. It's getting more fun to other people, I guess. I guess the JC frequency is hitting the plane. The plane of consciousness. The collective. I call it the sum of all parts. Like if you take everybody in the room, like I could tell you what they're all thinking, and how they're all gonna, that's why they have politics, that's why they have religion, That's why they have sports. That's why they have entertainment, so they can get people locked in on things they'd rather do. You know, because and the things and the thing that they rather do being the thing that they're ego driven to do. Like, I just want to do this. Like, how many years did I drink booze and get wasted and shit faced and stuff? And I get like annoyed and pissed off because plans would change and then I wouldn't get to drink how I wanted to. And then I'd say I'd do shit and then I'd never show up. All that stuff. That just puts bad taste in people's mouths. So, some point you gotta grow up. You can't just, sit in a studio and talk on. I have never. I think the longest talk I've ever done was an hour and like 20 minutes. I can't. My voice. I'm not that full of me that I could talk for 4 fucking hours. Excuse my language. 3 hours, 4 hours, things like that. I can't, like, there's two. I got candy to make. I'm making a kitchen in the back of my Suburban so I can make coffee for just pop-up coffee shop. And I'm not going to charge nobody for it because it's the least I could do for being a part of the monstrosities I've been a part of. See, that's another thing. People that get stuck in loops of born and raised, or maybe they lived here. I was taking a shower this morning, and I was like thinking of. I was kind of putting myself in the place of every single shower I've ever taken a shower in, and I couldn't keep track. Like, I take, like, of all, like, and I didn't even get to do all the fun stuff. My showers were like basic training, and like even in where I've lived in northern New Mexico, and there's people that have only taken a shower in one shower, maybe like if they go on a cruise or a vacation, or they go on a wedding, or they travel around a little bit. But the more like my grandparents, well, they moved around a lot because my grandma was an egomaniacal woman, and she wanted that grand staircase. And then she was so old by the time she got it, she couldn't enjoy it. And she did not die fizzy with glee. She was she got drug off by her demons, because when you don't live a life of grace, you don't get to die a graceful life. It's just how it is. Because when you give people peace, when you set the intention to provide a peaceful environment to people that have just been tormented, you don't get drug off by your demons, because you don't have any. Because your demons like you too. So, anyway, people are figuring it out. They're getting it. They're getting things in their own way. Just like I did. We all have our own path. We all do. I just think it's funny how people end up at the same places sometimes. They think they go off on these big extravagant paths and they've done these great, wonderful things, and then every town I ever go in, I'm looking at the homeless population, because I go out and hang with them. I want to know, what is it like, how they got there. Is it the systems that are broken? And it's usually that people aren't willing to comply. And that's bullshit. That's no reason for people not to have a roof over their head, because, like, I'm the highest masking autistic, highest functioning autistic person I've ever seen in my whole life. Like, the vastness of the spectrum in which I have lived, from what happened to me as a 10-month-old baby to what happened during my Saturn return when I was 30 years old and 29 and 03. Like, the vastness is that. Because where people that start out like I start out like, they don't end up in places that I went. Because I kept my wits about me. I kept my spirit. I kept my good sense of humor. I didn't let them take my smile. I let them take it for a little while, but then at some point, as soon as I get to resist, because that's what people do. People flex. They act like they're big tough. They act like they're strong. They act like they're in positions of authority, and they're going to keep you from doing that thing, or they're going to drop that bomb because they can, or whatever. But you take them down from that podium, and they will always just be regular people away from that. At some point, they're going to be regular people, and that's how I deal with people, is regular. I don't deal with people that, anytime somebody tells me, don't you know who I am, I'm just like, you are a frat boy in the fraternal brotherhood of butt stuff. That's who you are. Because anybody that gives a shit that somebody needs to know who you are, those are all of the men that have been like that, act just like you. So that's what you are. And usually I'm right and they get pissed. Oh, well, I don't care. I don't care if people get mad. Mad's a teacher. Anger's a teacher. I used to have an AA sponsor. I'd be like, and then when mom used to grow, when I was growing up, I get so mad. I was like a firecracker, and I'd pop off and I'd break stuff, and then I'd get in trouble. So mom would always teach me about emotional control, emotional control, emotional control. If you don't learn to control your emotions, someone will be there to control them for you, as in institutions. And I don't like being locked up and confined, because my brother used to hold me down, and he used to pull on my toes until they popped. If you ever been like rolled up in a carpet where you can't get out, stuff like that, it sucks. Like, so I don't want to hold nothing against its will, because I've been held against my will. And that's what institutions do with their rules, regulations, policies, and procedures. So I don't want to live in a way like that. I want to live in a world where I police myself, and I'm surrounded by other people that can police themselves and don't want to cause harm. But people do want to cause harm because they're so selfish that they don't get that their selfishness and their gluttony and all that they have, while so many people around them struggle, have so little, is going to put them in harm's way, because they ain't cool. People ain't cool. So they're going to figure out what it's like when they meet animals that have been backed in the cage and people that don't have, because I've been that person. I just couldn't, I wasn't, the opportunities didn't allow themselves to happen where I could do the dirty deed. I tried to do the dirty deed. I tried to do adult film fucking 10 years ago. I had an 8-pack. Like, I was tan. I was walking everywhere, and I couldn't pay the bills. So I'm like, how do people get into adult film? So I was like looking on Craigslist. I was like, I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't crack that. Thank God. But there's definitely, my head was shaved. Like, yeah, there's a demographic for me. There's all kinds of weirdos that would have liked to see my tiny white ass. I'm glad I didn't have to show it to him. God. Dude, I have the same birthday. Frickin' Jenna Jameson and I are born on the same exact day. She is exactly what I could have ended up with if I would have just gone and lived completely for my ego. I look at her, and she like never resisted herself. And I resisted a lot of my urges. So that I could be her. I'm so glad I'm not. I'm so happy that I have the life I have. I've been waking up so happy every day, just happy. I know myself. When I get happy, I don't like to get too happy, because people that are too happy, they're annoying to me. Because people that are oh so happy, they have never been truly sad. And I don't want to be around when they hit that sad. Although I will help with spiritual triage if needed be, because that's what I'm called to do, because I've lived through hell, so I could help people create heaven. That they just want to sit in their little studios and do the same thing that they've always done, day in and day out. Like, there's safety and security and redundancy. And they might change it up a little bit, but it's just like, the efforts of any extra energy and effort goes into silly stuff, goes into the program, When I see spiritualists at Disney World, that cracks me up. That's funny to me. Gurus at the theme parks, they're part of the program. And I am a program breaker. I guess I am a virus. I break programs. I guess I could be construed as a Heyoka, contrarian, we interject, jokers. Tricksters. I'm not a trickster. Like, I don't like pranks. I don't like when people do things to make other people embarrassed, because I've been that person. I was the 14-year-old girl that got pushed into a pool by her dad fully clothed. And I didn't have no change of clothes. And then I got in trouble for having the audacity to try and flex on any attitude, showing any kind of disdain of, not going along with the good time. Just like I've been treated like shit my whole life and then have to smile about it. I was thinking about that. I was telling my friend that the other day. I was trying to articulate it because I'm such a strong, shiny, bright, vibrant frequency. And I've been a part of so many programs, whether it's class, institutions, military, university, college. I worked in corporate America. I worked in university, so I got the other side being the teacher and the people that get paid to tell people how things are. I put myself so I could learn about what the people are like within these paradigms. And they're all the same. They all have the same little logos, and they're all their cubes look the same. There's variances, but I see the program. I see the Marge tricks. And so, I don't know if people know that I can see it or whatnot, but, so, usually, every instructor, person, subordinate, when I'm the subordinate, there's somebody above me that's telling me how things are. That's when I can tell how people are. And I can decide if I want to be like them or can do whatever I can to not do anything like them, be like them. And then usually teachers were cool. Like if they were cool people, you could tell a person by, I wouldn't differentiate teacher person. I would just be like cool person, adult, sucky one. And the sucky ones would always be the ones that would make the example out of me. That they would always try and embarrass me. Don't be like Marge. Don't be like her, like the Leo Cub tried to do the other day. He has to grow. I don't care if people have kids. That don't make you grow up. It just makes you change diapers and do shit you should have done freaking years ago because you're surrounded by people and everybody needs their butt wiped at some point. So if you're in your 40s and you never changed your diaper, like what kind of man are you? Poser. But how many times you got your freaking joystick in your hand playing video games and stupid shit like that? That is of no use. People need to grow up. Grow up. Arrested development. That's America. Stuck down. America stuck in the low vibrational frequency of the highest common denominator. Unuseful idiots is what people. Well, I only live here. If I lived in a different country, I'd be talking about the country in which I live in. So it's all right. They'll figure it out, or they won't. I don't care. I don't got all the answers either. I love that part too. That was the best part. It's about like the older you get, you learn so many more things, but then you figure out, holy hell, I was wrong about that. Anyway, so like I go in environments and there'd be a jerk. Now it don't matter what color the jerk's skin was. It didn't matter what the color of their skin was. I never cared if the jerk was a male or if the jerk was a female, because a jerk's a jerk, and all those other labels didn't mean anything to me. And if anybody was gonna, like if I was being unreasonable, then yeah, I'll take my lumps. But if I'm going along like everybody else, then treat me like everybody else. Don't treat me like I'm lesser than them. And that's what happened a lot, because people try to dim your light. They want to make they want to put them at a higher position in themselves. So if they see me as a strong person, that they're going to try and knock me down. So in their mind, they're like, well, look what I did to the strong person. But they don't realize that me as the strong person, hey Tanya, that I am resisting myself and not like clowning you back. Like because that will take all the power from the whole class, because they're going to see that you're just a fool and it's not me, it's you. And then they'll think I'm the cool one and you're a dunce. See, because that's how it's always been. Like, people think I'm a jerk and then they find out I'm really fucking cool. Because they have their misconceptions, their preconceived notions. Because they don't know what kind of signs I'm showing. Because they don't have the same path I have. So they don't, like, I don't, like, I mean, but sometimes I'll give them a clue. Like, I'll wear D-bag shorts just because there's a little bit of D-bag frat brat in me. So I got shorts that have, like, pineapples on them. Golf shorts, So I can recognize other D-bags in the wild, and they'll be like, oh, pineapple shorts. Cool. She's a D-bag like me. And then they try and talk to me and degrade women and, all this stuff. And then what I do is I say things about men that make them degrading. I'll call them myself. Oh, so you're one of the frat boys. You gotta do it with a smile on your face. You can't be mad about stuff. You're one of the frat boys. Women to you are penis pockets. That's all they are to you. They're just a pocket to put your penis, but you don't care what your penis. It don't gotta be a woman. It could be a donkey in Tijuana. It could be a apple pie. Like, it don't matter. You just one of them guys looking like little like the vice president and my brother. It was a couch. The couch did not consent. That was a terrible thing to walk in on that day. But he don't remember anything. That's the thing, is I remember shit. He should have been cooler to me. He wasn't. So yeah, you'd be surprised how many. You go to the grocery store. No, they probably don't shop for themselves. I think probably couch fuckers probably use Uber Eats. Oh my god! I still show up at the grocery store. Hopefully. Oh my god, that is so funny. Oh my god, that felt good, huh, Ma? You waking up, sweet little old lady? Honey, if you're still there. Oh, there's a cyclone happening on. That's the thing, is like, I feel like my earth is, I'm planting seeds for the winter, and then in the spring, my life is going to spring to this whole new crazy life. Just like I ever imagined. I'm super excited. It doesn't come with cost, obviously. There's going to be new cast of characters, and this 25, like, to me, 2020 was the year of clear vision. Like, I'm like, okay, people are going to start seeing that I see that everything's pageantry, that DC and Hollywood are the same, and so are religion and sports. Like, look at this, so you don't do good. And people didn't see it. And they're going to start seeing that health matters, and they didn't see it. And it's like a deck of cards where timelines happen. But I've always been an psychic intuitive. I see how things are going to go. I just don't care, because me and Mom are going to go live. Hey, Tanya, you going to come out? Hey, come out. I'm going to buy an excavator. And then I'm going to build a big, huge garage. Where women can cut, predominantly women travelers, dudes, or I'll probably have some here and there. It's not gonna be like a no man allowed kind of thing, but it'll be like, that'd be rad. You come help me build, and there's all kinds of places to crash. I'm gonna build just pads. The place I'm looking at is like 2 acres. I'm going to speak in vague terms for OPSEC reasons, obviously, but I got your email. But I'm going to have pads for people to just come up and park, and like have electric receptacles right there, and they can you run their salad. And I'll know them through like, obviously I'll get a presence from them from social media, you know, and then they can come out, and I'm probably gonna have people try. Honestly, I'm probably gonna have people sign NDAs to make them comfortable too. That I won't talk about anything about their private life on my while they're on my property. So it'll be like a two-way. It'd be like an agreement between, like, hey, you come here, it's a safe place. I'm not gonna get mad at you one day and put your shit out on the internet, you know. And then people can come, and then I'm gonna have the shop where you can lift your vehicles up, and then I'm gonna teach women of all ages how to work on their own shit, and men too, women, you know. And then we could have like carpentry classes and stuff like that, like Home Depot has classes like that, and then like they can just hang out, recharge, and then go out in the world, and then like come back and report to me on what the world's like, and then maybe I can make a place like this in different places that I've been before that I like, that because it's like a safe haven, is what it is, and you can work on your car. We'll always have an outdoor kitchen, and we'll always have a pot of coffee on where people can sit around and fellowship, a communal area. So outdoor kitchen. You said you have ideas about that yourself. And I'm always open to contributions. I love recommendations. And then you could take showers and do laundry. And then hang out a couple nights, 3 nights, you know, a few days. If you want to make the local area, do something like, but usually people want to just move on. And that's agreeable to me, because I kind of get into a rhythm where I like the things to shift. And then I just I'm making candy. I'm making pet friendly furniture, dog beds, ottomans, and and while I'm doing it, like it's to honor the dogs that I've lost, because it's been a huge year loss, losing Benny and Tuck this year. I lost Artie last year. 2022, I lost Mom's dog Sass, so she was like a sister. I mean, she was like a little bratty sister. And then later in that year, my little sister died. So it's so I need to get to a place where I can have more, so I can bring more in things to love and to take care of. Because if I don't love and take care of things, then I get mad about things, and I start thinking about how my feelings are hurt, and I want other people to hurt their feelings, and I don't want to live that way. I don't want to live that way. I lived that way too long, and I'm not doing that no more, no how. So I'm gonna celebrate their losses. And it will be a no. I don't want alcohol. I don't ever want to smell alcohol there. So it will be, that's the one thing. Only rubbing alcohol or cooking alcohol. But like people, I'm gonna have so much candy. And not just candy, but like lotions. Like I said, I'm gonna make lotions and butters and stuff like infused, and grow my own flour, and then make my infusions, and then I'm gonna just give it to people. I'm just gonna give it to people. I'm just gonna go around and give things to people so that they feel better, so that they soothe what other pain that they got in them, so that they stop hurting other people. That's what I want, and I want to do it my way. And I got a pretty good way about doing things. I also have the same birthday as the first, or the real, I think, where Epstein got his predecessory from is, I think he got him from that one guy, Hugh Hefner, and I was born on the day he was born. Obviously, he was born a lot, but and I do extravagant things. I just want to use the things that I do for extravagance for good and not for evil. Like, I want to do karaoke. I remember I got pictures of me. I did karaoke. I did it my way, Frank Sinatra, because I was a machismo. When I drank, I'm machismo. And I don't want to be Marge Cheesemo. I don't know. Anyway, so I don't remember it. And then I think I did the same thing in Texas at a blackout. They had this, in Wichita Falls, I think it was it's in the mall even. I don't know, but they had this warehouse, and they had just all these different bars. I don't even remember what it was called. I also remember people doing it right next to me in the parking lot. That was awkward. Like, why do people think that they can do this stuff around me? People like would be like, husbands, wives, hey, you want to come home with us? No, thank you. I'm not into weird shit at all. Well, monogamal weird shit, but I'm not. I'm like asexual at this point. So, no, not you or her. Neither. Nope. Mm-mm. I've been, the stuff that people, this one lady in a bar in Oregon, like, I was like, why is that lady looking at me like that? I don't know why she's looking at me like she's looking at me, but I don't know why why? And she said, and then later I found out that that lady wanted me to take her home. Blech. And then her husband was mad because he wanted to go home with somebody else. So they were both mad at me for not wanting to. And I'm just like, you people are icky. I don't travel in high traffic areas. Yeah. Yep. And I see women and men, and I just think of them like, God, high traffic area. They're just a high traffic area. Let's not let skills like hunting, gardening, canning, making, homeopathy. I can't see that it goes away. It goes away. There it goes. Okay. That's what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to teach everybody that's like, I'm trying to find people that are like-minded on me in the interwebs of the same frequency. Invite them to where I am to see if they are like what I believe them to be, because they don't have to be like their presence on the internet. I get the differences. And then I teach them what I know, and then I give them stuff that they take out in the world. And they could like leave magnets and stickers and the homeopathic medicines that I make. And then, because I do things for fun and for free, and I always have, Creator makes it possible that whenever I want to go to do something, I can swipe my card and it's just there. Like, what do I care if I do a 50-year loan? I ain't going to be alive 50 years. I want to leave a legacy to my nieces and nephews, because I have no children, but I have 5 nieces and nephews, 3 girls, 2 boys from Jessica, my sister that died, and then Helly, my brother. I want to leave a place in the world that they can go to that doesn't suck. That you can go and have all the fun you want. All the fun you never got to have when you were a kid. It's also going to have a rage room. That's important to me. Because that'll also help with, like, local recycle. Like, if shit breaks, just be like, call Marge, she'll come get it, put it on the street, and I'll just go, Mom and I'll go tooling around. Boop, boop. Thanks. You know? I got so many ideas. I just have been in survival mode for freaking, and I'm almost to 100%. I am so close, because I went and got, before the government, this is how funny the world is. Is because it's like, I am trying to keep my body viable, because if I stop, I'm going to fall apart, is how it is. And I have to be careful that I don't hurt myself. And the place I'm looking at is big enough and small enough that I can do enough, but that's why I need help and I need people to come and stay and, and be a part of making something possible because I can't do things myself. That's my lesson in life. And so, to me, exercise is cleaning, staying agile. And Mr. Iskey's a prime example. Homeboy he got crushed in a car accident when he was 19, and homeboy's 67, and he still freaking climbs down in the grain bin. Makes me nervous as hell. But he just got a new grain truck, so he's escalating too. So I just want to get all the big tools to get everything I need, and then I could maybe buy, because I want to have. I would do one of these in other places. I just don't want to live in other places because I've moved around so much that there's a lot of places that are a nice place to visit, but I don't want to live there. Like Reading's one of them. I would like to have a place like that in Reading, but I don't want to live in fucking Reading. Reading's the armpit. But I got to teach people how to be cool because they ain't cool. When they could have been cool, they weren't. Anyway. What is it? So, I gotta keep purpose for my body, because when people stop using their bodies, when they lose their minds. I was thinking about that. I'm gonna start writing people handwritten letters again too, because that keeps the parts in your mind active. Because there's different parts of your mind that, because just writing and using that part of your brain, it keeps it out. How many people are dumb because they don't use that part of their brain because they're never writing, because they're always on technology. Until the power goes out, people go back to writing, then that people start using more of their brain again. They're using less of their brain. They think they're using more, they're just using less of their bodies. I mean, I see how the transhumanism thing is going, and whatever, that ain't gonna be my storyline. I can't be around electronics with my magnetic personality. I glitch things out all the time. Yep. I think that's why, because I've taken cuts, I've done what I can to take care of mom. And you know what? It was so funny. We were dancing yesterday. I put on a song that's ain't nothing gonna break my stride. So we were dancing around. I said, "Mom, you gotta move around, get your blood going." And then you won't be cold, and then you live longer and stuff. And because you want to be here, I think people want to get to live, and I think the people that get to go early. I don't know. I'm fighting to live. I'm fighting to live. I'm so fighting to live. I want to live because I didn't want to live for a lot of years because life was too hard, and I was just like, I don't want to do this. Starting when I had the chicken pox, and it was 117 degrees, and I wanted to die. Like, I just don't want to be here. If this is what life is, I don't want to do this. But I've never been suicidal because you don't take out that light. And so, yeah, I don't hold still because it hurts. You sit there, it hurts. Right? So, the place I'm looking at has, like, all kinds, and it's not too, it's like, it's good. Like, we could go out walking in the mountains right outside our porch, and the smell, and I just think about all the animals that would be like, see our beam of light and be curious and come visit, and all the critters I could feed, and all the footage I get from, my data bill's gonna be huge. I'm gonna have a data warehouse of my own. I need to start my own server and stuff like that. I should go pro and just do it all on my own. This is what I should do. It doesn't take that much. And just get completely off and just do my own thing all the way. But I don't know. I would rather make candy than get stuck in tech stuff. But I could do both. That's the thing. I'm a jack of all tirades. Anyway, it feels so good to not be in survival. I feel like because it wasn't just, people don't realize what it was. Hey, okay, hey, little H. I ain't want people that those big H Ayokas, keep them away from me. Don't send them my way. Every now and again, I'll look up Heyoka on YouTube and I'll look at these Heyoka, capital H Heyoka, and I'm just like, dude, go away. You ever wipe your mom's butt? No? Then you ain't no Heyoka to me. You know? They're doing a TikTok trend where the daughter gets carried by the mom for the last time. I want to do one that's opposite because I'm Heyoka, where I pick mom up. I said, "Ma, you carried me long enough. I got you, girl." I never heard of it until my ex-girlfriend, Shannon, told me about it when I was in Oregon. I was drinking. I started drinking again. I was like, I was making all these connections. And I think it would have broke my brain if I would have made the connection. Like I needed alcohol. Like I used alcohol that time as a buffer because I was figuring out so much history. Like my DNA, because that's when we did the DNA stuff. And I was just like figuring out stuff. Putting things together. And it was a lot. Found out that I was a bastard. Found out my parents... They said my whole life I had always, because I'm always about romance and love, and I'm a rom-com really with the scally face, and like I never get straight answers. Like I did, like, how'd you meet, like, you know. And then I remember when my Uncle John got divorced from his wife. I guess she was a wild woman why he married her. And then he had Rochelle, because that's what you do. You get married, have kids, but then they figure out later they're not compatible. And then I found out when I was 42 years old that my parents got divorced at that time that my uncle got divorced. And so I was like, "Hey, Dad," I said, "why did you ever tell me I was a bastard?" And his response was, "How dare you get mad about things that happened so long ago?" I said, "I just found out about it." Like, I was never allowed to have my anger, but these people were just so... they're insane. That's how I knew... My dad worked at Atascadero State Mental and Hospital. He had my mother locked up in there, and he should have been in there because it's men like him that are fucking crazy. I would not be surprised if he was not one of those 500 serial killers, truck drivers, because he was a truck driver, and if you mark all the boxes of what... serial killers act, like all those guys, like he has all of those personalities because he always let his self-will let go, and I learned mom to temper that, or I could have ended up like him. But I kind of ended up like him because I did practical things. I was 12 years old, 10 years old. I remember Grandma... We met him on the side of the highway. He was a concrete truck mix driver. And I never knew the guy, but I wanted to know him. But whenever I hung out with him, he'd never talk to me. So just everything was by feel. Or he would be completely, terribly critical of me. So I would be too worried to even do anything because I get called out for shit all the time. I don't like being called out. I mean, people do whatever. I don't care anymore, but this is when I was a child. I'm talking in terms of the mind of a child. Now I'm an adult. Call me out. I'll call you out too. Let's do this. Ha ha! People don't hang out with me because they don't want me to call them out. So I just don't know so many people. So I don't care. Anyway. But my train of thought just derailed. Oh, my dad. So he's just a bad guy. He's a bad guy. He is what a bad guy is. So that is what taught, and then he taught my brother how to be all the bad parts of himself, and then my brother said, "Hey, this is fun. I'm going to be a bad guy too." I had so much trauma. I'm fun. I'm not bad. I just give people what they give me. Or whatever, vice versa. And my dad, and I had so much trauma that it used to be that I wake up and I jolt. Because I disassociate. So when I sleep, I recognize that I disassociate. When I sleep, I see it as my spirit going out into other dimensions, tuning into different frequencies of storylines that are all running incongruent, but people would consider past, future. And I'm just hanging out in a life library in different dimensions. And so I wake up, or after, we don't know when it's going to happen, and it's going to be different in everybody's life too, because I'm probably not going to see nothing. Because we went out in Atlantis and we've been through the shit, so we're going to go hide on our mountain and we're going to miss all that. So people want to come with us and miss all that. That'll be cool. So so I'd wake up and jolt, because I'd come back into my soul sack. And then my brother, we slept in the same room a lot. He would see that. He thought that he would get some sort of satisfaction from that. Like a cat gets the satisfaction of what a mouse smells like. It's that fear smell. That's why they toy with mice. It puts off fear, like that adrenaline, juicy chrome, adrenochrome stuff. They puts off fear, and they don't want that. But as soon as the critter passes, that smell goes away. They don't want the smell, so they want to prolong it. So that the toying with the mouse, that's what they do, is it's prolonging somebody's fear. So it's much darker than the just. You gotta be careful about what how. Anyway, playing with stuff. It's all fun and games until you're a soul sucker. And then so my brother would see me get scared, and then he took on, even into adulthood. I did it to him one time. I scared his soul out of him. He walked out of the bathroom. I scared him so bad. He ran, and I saw it, like he was legitimately scared, and I didn't want to do that to nobody no more. So that was the last time I ever scared anybody. Like, boo, like, I don't even scare cats and dogs. Like, you don't fuck with people like critters, no. But he did it all the way until, because that's men like him, fraternity guys, that either go into, an organization like law or police enforcement. Police are just the biggest racket in the world. And people are like, why is everybody going crazy, like all the police and stuff? Because they're not intelligent. Yet they're told that they're intelligent, and they're told that they're good boys, and they're told that they can do no wrong, and then they're given guns. Because they never resist themselves, because they're born, they just always get to do whatever they want. And so they go out and they do whatever they want, and they have guns, and then something happens where freaking they run into something crazy while they've been protected them whole lives, and then they don't know how to respond. So you need to have these, like, state police, universities. Any person that has to deal with the public service. And we're going to have less, like, police, and we're going to have less, like, EMTs, because people are going to start caring about themselves more. Because you're going to have less, like, stuff like that. We're going to have more, like, it's going to be a place where you're not going to need firemen, because wherever you live, all your neighbors are going to gather, and they're all going to have a plan within, like, a mountain gully or an arroyo or whatever. Like, okay, if this happens, we're all going to meet here because these are the potentials. And then you got to start gathering materials, because there's too many fucking veterans out there that just have been sucking Uncle Sam's wiener and forgot what this nation was supposed to be about. And I never forgot. It's not about parades. It's about creating the best environment on U.S. soil without going anyplace else, and perpetuating any storyline. You want to hear something funny? I have a disaster alert app, and I've had this app for years, and it comes up for everything all over the world. I got a screenshot the other day. My service started before I ever enlisted. My service started when I had to take it as a 10-month-old baby girl, so I could go out into the world to tell all the people out here who the big little weenie scary bad people are that like to freaking impede their will onto others to break people's soul and psyche. So, anyway, people forget the point. Like I heard that I'm so tired of people that have everything they have because people on the internet give it to them and then they hit a rough spot and it just completely shits on everything that they already have because they get set back. So I just can't live with other people, so I'm gonna go make another place that I can live on. So this came up the other day. This, and it says storms, North Israel. And I said, you know what? Well, I used to be sorry, but I'm pretty okay with the person I turned out to be. And I think if that thing didn't happen, it would have set my whole world in a different trajectory. So thank you. I'm okay with it. I'm at peace with it. And I just want other people to know that they could, be at peace with things in life after terrible situations happen like that. But anyway, my point is of all the years I've had this app, I'm like, it's so funny. This is the first time that I've ever seen any kind of event in that place. You want to know why? Because that place doesn't exist. It's like the North Pole. Israel and the North Pole are the same. You get me? Are people starting to see it? The military is reindeer games, made up reindeer games. You get me? Am I making it make sense? Because that's what I live to do, is make shit that don't make sense make sense. It don't make sense that there's people in the control that play, that hang out and dress up in these little uniforms with buttons and ribbons, and we're important people, and we bomb them and kill them, and then they're hanging out in secret rooms doing coke, a bunch of dirty stuff that is against the U.S. Code of Law and Ethics, and it's also against the UCMJ. So they're like, fuck you to both, haha, in your face. And that's what they are. I guess some CEO got in trouble for that soup company from being gross, and I'm like, blast on everybody. Everybody's being freaking shown for being the dirty, rotten, freaking scumbags that they've profited and have good lives for being for too long. And I have liked my nice, simple, quiet life from not taking it. From not being, from just, how many guys was I stationed with that have like fucking compounds? 3 kids, wife. They're always traveling to here because one kid's sick. They get all the best of everything. They don't ever gotta pay for medical care. Why can't every American do that? All these, I unfriended so many brothers in arms because mom and I needed a place to play. Like, I couldn't get a fucking fifth wheel and crash until fucking things got better. Like, I was there and been left behind. So what do I fucking give a shit about any military member? Like, I don't, people have to be careful with how they talk to me, I guess. Cause like, don't say to me things like, oh, we're friends now, especially if we never met. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not talking about anybody in proximity to where I'm at, but I used to be that person. And then I learned what it was to be a friend. And then I thought, no, I got to do these things for people, and then people got to do things for me, and then we use words like that. Until then, let's just say things like, it's nice to, they have nice words like, it's nice to make your acquaintanceship. But it's just people, or don't anybody say, hey, you're like family, because, God, how badly I've been treated by my bloodline. I can't. So, anyway. Is that my girl dog over there? She's sleeping? How you doing, Ma? You just listen to me, Amber? I just keep going and going and blasey, blasey, blah, blah, blah. Blasey, blasey, blah, blah, blah. Ooh, Rick did a video. I like him. R-I-K. He's a Libra. He's like, yeah, take my shit, leave my shit. I got what I need. Brown Eyed Girl, Van Morrison. Life is good, huh, Mom? All day, every day I die. And then mom tells me how nice I am and stuff. It's funny. We have a good life now. We do. Man, I was in survival mode and finally I feel like I can, because all the stuff I was so scared of already happened. Everything else I can deal with. There's nothing I can't deal with now because everything I was afraid of already happened. And I'm not afraid of nothing else. And people that like people, that's what's cool. I like my shtick because like I don't gotta do this shit. I'm gonna do YouTube videos. I just talk. This is just streams of consciousness to me to see if people want to. I'm throwing lines like a Fisher Marge out there to try to connect with people. That's all that this is. And so like it's funny because my ancestor Isaac Walton, he wrote the first book, fruity little boo dude, white hair colonial lizard dude. See, I'm half lizard and I'm half indigenous, so I'm like what bait? I don't know. I'm all these. I'm a menagerie of these things. I don't really care what people are. The lizards could take off their mask as long as they learned not to eat the people. I learned how to fish when I was a kid. I've been fishing my whole life. It's in me. It's my genetics because when frickin' parted old Isaac Walton took his last breath, all we are is our potential. All we are is the things that we do with our breath. So when we take our last breath, that's all of our potential going out into the no place space. And then that's data and information that people can meditate and guide themselves. If they are like-minded, like the person that passed, you will get all of the data and everything that they know. That's why osmosis exists. Quite frankly. That's why I didn't like to study for tests because I disassociate. But I didn't want to study because I didn't feel like I needed to study because as long as the right answer was out there, I would somehow, by doing the right thing in life, tune into the right answer. Isn't that funny? That's how my brain works. So it's trying to find like-minded to me. It's like-minded maybe in small increments. That's why I'm cool with hanging out with people with like doing loud things, because I can communicate with my hands over equipment and stuff like that because I'm used to it. So I'm excited for the future. I'm not like, oh my god, all my dogs are gonna die at the same time. Don't be afraid about that. What do they call it? I've been putting on, what is that? What kind? Prolonged remorse for like 2 years. Trying to be happy and like, not know what's happening and just being devastated at the same time. But I'll get more dogs one day. And other people will bring their dogs. And I'll get to maybe meet their dogs. Or not. I don't need to meet other people's dogs. Because the people that are going to come hang out with me, they're going to be kind of people that I don't know. I don't know. It depends, I guess. We'll find out. It'll be cool, though. Places to go. Nice safe haven. Get in. Freaking get a nice meal out the outdoor kitchen. And then go over and beat on some TV screens. Because people are stupid. And if they do that, if I create more places like I want to create, like on Monopoly, maybe I don't want hotels. I just want places for people to be. Candyland. And do that, and then people start feeling better about themselves, and then they're gonna just spread that instead of, what I've been white knuckling doing the last year is trying not taking my shit out on other people, and I know that I failed a lot of days. So it's about learning lessons. That's what I see. We're all just spiritual beings having a human experience, and we have our soul sacs, which is our temple, which carries our body, which if we keep it healthy, we can do good deeds longer. It's so weird, like the short window of what people do with their capacity. like where they peak. I'm still trying to reach my peak, and I'm gonna be 52 in April. I'm old, lady. God, I'm tired. I'm old. I want to buy all the big, heavy equipment and tools to make shit easy. Just invite people to come out, and then come crash here for a few days. Teach me stuff. I'll teach you stuff, and I'll give you some candy, some stickers, and magnets, and go on be your way. Hopefully we'll be better people for it. That's what I'm hoping to do, huh, Mom? Sound good?
Yes.
Does that sound like a good life?
Good life.
We already got a good life, though.
Yeah.
We got a good life right here, right now. Every day. I don't gotta go to work and hang out with nobody I don't like. God, that is freedom. I don't have to get. Yeah, I'm gonna have so many tools. My toolbox is my. I have cooking things in it. But I'm gonna this place. I'm gonna be so happy for the first time in my life ever. I'm gonna have a place where I'm gonna have a place for everything. And then I want my earth angel to come visit. I was telling her the other day. I think I just dumped out the rest of my coffee. I want her to come visit. Bring her bird. Come visit, and I will make a place that is so comfortable that she won't want to go. Until she wants to go. Like, until, like, people get inspired to be like, oh my God, I've seen where Marge came from. Because she was the one that 5 years ago understand me. When I was in Oregon, my memories are coming up from 5 years ago. That was a very karmic period for me. That was very hard for me. I got down to like 126 pounds. I was like, I wasn't eating. I was just breathing through every process, emotion, and resisting. Trying like okay, thy will, not mine, be done. Like praying weird. Like the dogs weren't allowed to be inside. They were outside, and I would go. There were times they'd get windstorms, and my dogs were domestic indoor dogs. They had a nice cliff. They were not used to 35-mile-an-hour winds, dust winds in Arizona like that. So I'd go out, but because I was under such dominance and control, because I had no place else to go. And this earth angel came in and saw my light leaving. She said, "Your light is leaving." And I was like, "It is. I don't know what to do." Like I'm completely in God's hand. I just have to keep doing the right thing so nothing bad comes back to me. And she's like, "I want to help you. I'm going to send you a check for $15,000. And I was like, it did a switch in me. And then I had a plan, because I'd always like, okay, well, if you had money, what would you do? And so I was like, well, okay, well, if I had money, I would go down and I'd buy a minivan. I'd go down to the car lot and I'd find a minivan, because I already had a place to go in Ranchos de Taos, which was 7 hours away. I just didn't have any means to. No, I don't even know if the means came up yet. I don't even know if that the place in Ranchos came up. It all happened at the same time, right? Right when the eclipse energy was starting to come. And then I was like, I don't have any place to go, so I was putting it everywhere again, all over YouTube, all over social media. I was calling all these agencies for veterans, homeless women, all this stuff. Like, Mom had her Social Security, but they don't care about her, what happens to her. So I knew no agency was for us. The VA system, that's just so 3 different people can call me to tell me how much they care, but so they can all collect a paycheck, but there's no place for me to go. Like in Arizona, for every state you go into, it's like you got to reapply for Social Security. Or no, it wasn't Social Security. It was to be like when I was in Oregon, I'd get like $600 a month to be recognized as getting paid as Mom's caregiver. Then we went to Arizona, I tried to do that, but I had to pay an outside agency $1,300 so that they could gather all of. I said, dude, she hasn't. You don't have to gather all this shit to prove that I deserve what I deserve. All you have to do is meet her and understand she hasn't known what day it is in 15 years because a man slammed her head in a car door when she was 38. But people don't get that systems exist. They're welfare for people that work in the systems. They don't care about their constituents. And then we were only there for a few weeks because this Earth Angel came in and she solved all my problems with just some cash. Because then somebody saw in my chat that I needed a place, and this lady needed a place. Or somebody to stay in her place that was going to pay the rent. That was me. I was the answer to her prayer. And she was the answer to mine. But she was of the alcoholic variety. And so she became weird. And so that was another lesson. Which brought us to Hondo. Like, it's crazy. But anyway, she said that. And then, like, the bank that I had was still in Oregon, and they would only do it release like so much in 7 days. So I was in limbo. Like, this lady was torturing me because she felt so powerless in her life that she was taking it all out on me, and I just take it. I was just like, I'm like, dude, whatever. People want to freaking put their bad behavior, like, that shit on me. I'm like, dude, I've been dealing with this shit since I was a 10-month-old baby. People have been trying to, whatever. But there's always a time it's going to be over and the tables are going to be turned. And then people will fucking freak themselves out with how much terror they conjure up in their own minds that they think I'm going to do to them. And I'm like, no, man, that ain't me. That's you. That ain't me. So when I see fearful people, they think I'm going to I'm like, what are these people freaking out about? I'm just me. And they're like, oh, this bitch. I'm like, what? It's funny. But sometimes I am this bitch. This bitch. So, life is so funny. And then I went down, and that evil woman, Carrie Gunn, that we stayed with, she dropped me off at a car place, and they had 2 minivans. And then I got the caravan. And that's how we made safe. I didn't even get to freaking stay with my stuff. So she sent us on. So when the moving van came to collect our stuff, she got to pick through whatever she wanted and keep whatever she wanted of mine. I got this one. I used to have 2 of them. I used to have 2 of them, and this is what she stole. These are cool. Oh, shit. This cold weather parka. See, I was at Offutt, so we got all the good shit. And I got these because I was with a scumbag airman that had keys. And we went into this storage room, and they had a whole fucking pile of these. And I was like, I said, I wanted to grab one for Mom. So she stole either mine or Mom's. But Mom don't go out and like she's warm. She don't need it, but I go out. But yeah, Carrie Gunn stole my other one of these. But I remember going into that storage unit, that room. It was in the corridor at Offutt D building. They had these corridors, and the doors would open up like big, huge because you got to pull in equipment and stuff like that. And so it's like a teal, it's like a turquoise. And every time those gates open, I'd hear the dun dun every time, and then they'd open it. How many times for 5 years I was in the truck, dun, because my job was so repetitive. It would still get exciting and stuff like that, but still, it was redundant, and so I'd have to make things fun. So, And then we go walking around and, oh, what's it with this lock? And open it. And then they have all this stuff. And I'm like, why don't homeless people get this? Like, why aren't all Americans entitled to a fucking warm coat? I mean, there were hundreds of them in this room. Like, I was like, I can't believe I mean, there was maybe thousands of them. Because that's what the military is. It's about mass production and who you can give it to. But they give it to assholes that want to cause harm to people in places we have no business. And the shift is happening that it's gonna come back here. Because I know where the rooms are. And I'll just go in and get them because ain't nobody, because these bases are so dilapidated. Mr. Iskey lives right next door to Offutt still. He worked there like 15 years after I left there. So I have been continuously getting an account, and it's a pony show. It was a stage. Offutt was made, and I was a paid actor to come in at the time at 9/11, but real people die. The reasons are just all contrived. See, they're just lines. It's just people sitting around a table and they're going, we're just going to say this. We're going to exercise this. That's it. That's what exercises in the military. Take one. Only they do this stuff over there in real life and real people die. I don't think they do on the scales like that they say. I do, but people die because, like mom, or like the collateral damage, or people like mom, or the neurodivergence, like the people that can't fit in society. They're the ones that they're the spiritual death, because World War III is of a spiritual variety. I was just talking earlier about going on for freaking 4 hours, and here I'm going on an hour and a half. So I'm gonna go do something for somebody else and think less about me for a while, since I've been talking about me for an hour and a half. So thanks for hanging out. That's what I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.